you guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Maggie and I do all types of spiritual care, self-care, skincare type of videos. So if that's something you may be interested in, I would love for you to stick around by hitting that subscribe button so that you never miss another upload from me. Today I want to touch on some self-care habits that inspire wellness. So let's get into these tips now. So my first habit that sort of inspire wellness, helps me to clear my head a lot more, is writing. Writing has just been so therapeutic lately. Not only do I like to write out like my video ideas and like my scripts for my videos to just keep me on track, I also do a lot of writing of scriptures and notes and thoughts and gratitude, things like that. It's just, writing can just be such a release, especially if you've been under a lot of stress lately, or you've been finding that you've been just frustrated lately and you really don't know how to release it. Writing those thoughts down, writing those feelings down is a great way to release that. So what I mean is, whatever's bothering you, whatever's on your heart, write it down. Now, when you write it out, don't worry about penmanship, don't worry about spelling, none of that. Just get down the emotions and the feelings out, and you can do whatever you want to do with it afterwards. You can burn it, you can tear it up, you can throw it away, you can keep them, you can save them, okay? It's all about you. Or you can use writing, like I said, in a more therapeutic and uplifting way, writing down whatever it is that you're grateful for, or as an you can use it as an expression of love, or you can do poems, you can write stories. Like, it's just whatever you want to use writing for. I definitely encourage you to give it a try. I myself have been getting back into my writing and into my poems, and I definitely use my husband as a guinea pig because all my poems are pretty much about him anyway. So yes, just use writing as an expression and as for a release. My next habit I want you to start developing is taking time off. Taking time off is so important with all the hustling and bustling that you're doing at work, and now even more at home. And I know a little time off seems impossible, it seems out of reach, but we have to make that a priority, because if you're just constantly burned out and exhausted, that's definitely a sign that you need to just take it easy for a little bit. Taking time off is not only great to, make you feel physically refreshed, but it can also just transform your whole mindset. I can't tell you how refreshed I am after, just an afternoon with my friends, or if you got the money, you got the funds, a trip, to another state, a road trip, a little bit of time off. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a 2-week long vacation. Hey, if you need it, can afford it, by all means, book my ticket too. But I'm just saying, a little time off, even if it has to be at home, if it's at a yoga studio, if, just take some time for you. And I literally mean you, just not the kids, not with hubby, something it is that you want to do, like a spa or something like that, okay? So don't forget about you. My next tip, guys, is to read self-help books. I know we're in a digitalized time and it seems so far-fetched, it seems so awkward to read an actual physical book, but guys, I read it every day. I have a stack of books here. I have a whole bookshelf, and I'm always on a hunt for spiritual books and life-changing books and Bibles and, different ways to encourage. I'm not really a sci-fi fictional type of book reader, but besides that, reading self-help books, we can all gain a little something from reading them. And this is especially effective if you're going through a rough time, you're kind of stuck in a place, and you need a little extra guidance and perspective. Now, my go-to book will always be the Bible, but a little more modernized, text and words and things like that is still beneficial. So they're a great way to motivate you, to uplift you, make you more positive, and you may even learn something new. So, and I also recommend reading in the morning if possible. Starting your day with something uplifting and more positive will definitely shift your mind and just prepare you for the day. So don't knock it. Yes, you can read, on your phone, guys, but honestly, guys, finding a quiet spot, or while you're just laying in bed or on the couch, and getting some good old reading in, we have to get back to that, okay? So Read some books. All right, my next habit that I want us to start developing, it might be pretty, explanatory, but we have to remain and focus on the positive. I swear, everywhere I look, everywhere I turn to is just so much negativity, whether it's on the news and on the TV or probably just in our own lives. And not recognizing the toxicity around you can be so detrimental because you are who you hang around. And all of that can just be detrimental to your mood, to your spirit, to your mindset without us even really realizing it. Even though we can't control all the bad in the world and we sort of have to keep up what's going on, in the world, but we can't control how much negativity we allow into our lives and into our minds. So we just have to sort of just train our minds to see the positive of it or look at it more so as a lesson instead of, you're being punished or bad things happen to you. Again, that's a negative thought, okay? So just try to live with more gratitude, with more gratefulness in our hearts, and we will start to see the lesson in things instead of repeating the same mistakes, keep letting the same type of people around us. And we have to discern what's going on, who's in our life, what's going on around us, so that we can remove ourselves from it, okay? So just stay positive, guys. I know we're all going through a hard time. Moving on to my next habit, and that's to find some quiet time. I know I already mentioned, trying to take some time off, and it's still kind of in the same boat. Taking time off should be sort of like over a period of time, resting, taking a couple days off of work, things like that, and finding quiet time. We should try to push for daily. We can all benefit from a little quiet time, especially being a mother of 4. I know I need my quiet time. But yeah, running a nice hot bath or, like I said, reading some books, catching up on, do some drawing or painting. I myself just started getting back into painting a little bit more. And again, just, something that I enjoy doing by myself and I know I mentioned it being quiet. Doesn't necessarily have to be quiet, but just taking some time for yourself. Meditating, yoga, watching a series on Netflix you've been meaning to catch up on, because I know I have so many shows I want to watch, but my kids make it so impossible for me to pay attention. But so utilize those nap times and those bedtimes, and sneak in some quiet time, preferably during the middle of the day. In the beginning, again, like I said, during the middle of the day where you can sort of recharge and prepare yourself for the rest. Make that a little bit of time a priority and just learn to enjoy your own company for a little bit. All right, my next habit I want us to at least try to do is immerse ourselves in more nature. My children and I, we love going to the park. They love bringing their bikes and their scooters, and me and hubby loves to sit there, bring our grill, and we're grilling, we're cooking, we're hanging out. We have our favorite park has a really long hiking trail, so we love to walk. We catch frogs and we catch grasshoppers and things like that, and it's just always the best time. And I feel like we always have the most fun when we're actually outside. But it can simply just being riding your bike or taking a hike, sitting by the water. Like, we can all benefit from being outside a little bit more and getting all of that vitamin D soaked up, okay? So spend some time outdoors. Hey, you never know what you'll see out in nature, all right? All right, my next tip is positive self-talk. I know we see a lot of videos out here, all about affirmations and things like that, and I definitely live by that. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like we keep telling ourselves a lie. We say we're gonna talk better, do better, use our affirmations. But a lot of us, including myself, sometimes don't gravitate towards that a lot. Don't gravitate towards that first, even though we should. But what I'm saying is, even if the affirmations, it's just not for you or whatever, you have to talk. You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to egg on yourself. So remember, this is all about wellness, and wellness starts from within. And we have to love ourselves more by speaking positivity into our lives and by not talking down and discouraging ourselves. Like, how are we gonna sit there and talk bad about yourself for, I can't do this, I'm too ugly, I'm too fat? And I'm so guilty of this, guys, don't get me wrong. And I can just tell you, it got me nowhere fast, okay? But when I started doing the opposite, when I started really feeling myself and getting a little bit more confident in myself just by speaking to myself. You can do this, whether it was with work, whether it's physical, whether, you know, it's in the household, you know. I can do this. I can take care of the house today. I can do whatever. I can lose this weight. I can get this promotion. I can do the work. You know, it's all about hyping yourself up, okay? Because who else is going to do it for you, you know? And yes, I know we're our own worst critic. We all have an inner saboteur, but we have to also remember that that's nothing but the devil, nothing but him. So just start speaking scripture into yourself, okay? And you will see such a shift. You know, renew your mind, renew yourself. Like, this is very helpful. And I know that the everyday stresses, guys, I have 4 children. It's probably easier for me to talk down on myself or say I can't handle this on a daily basis, or use that as an excuse really to get the stuff that I need done, you know, whatever the case is. When I start doing the opposite, that's when I start, you know, really knocking things out, really being more confident, wanting to work out more, wanting to look more sexy, you know, whatever it is that you're still discouraging yourself about. Start speaking life and scripture into yourself and tell me you won't see a difference. All right, my next tip is to meditate. Meditate. Some type of meditation, this will probably be like a tip in like all of my videos, because I swear by meditation and yoga, things like that, because it has tremendously helped me. Seriously, it's just such a great way to refocus your thoughts and rest and calm your mind down from all the chaos that we allow in our minds. I'm telling you, even if you're a beginner like me, I'm still pretty much a beginner, yoga, meditating, but I think we scare ourselves from not trying it or really committing to it because we think it's boring or it's not going to help. That couldn't be the furthest from the truth. 5 minutes, 10 minutes of silence, of just you sitting, praying, you know, like I said, doing yoga in silence is so amazing. It's so beneficial. I'm telling you. And if you do have children like me, it is very calming, okay? And we need to be that calm force in the household, okay? So tomorrow morning, or even right before bed, I want you to find a quiet spot, a little bit of meditation, just sitting there quietly, guys, or some type of yoga or something like that, just to refocus your thoughts and just calm the mind back down, getting it ready for the day, or not going to sleep with all that heaviness on your mind and heart, okay? So my next habit I want us to start doing is keeping affirmations and or scriptures around the home. Again, I touched on affirmations a little bit earlier about how some of us are, you know, so quick to forget about them, or especially if we just write them down like in a book or something. But if you have them written down or printed or posted like all around your house, at the front door, on the bathroom mirror, in your hallways, or the doors, you know, like mostly places where you know you're going to see them, you're going to walk right into them, and you'll have no choice but to see them. And that'll be your reminder, like, hey, this is my moment. This is my time to speak a word, to speak an affirmation into myself and over my house. So that's just a really great way. I have them all over my house, almost every room. I have scriptures or affirmations, something positive about the home or about, you know, just life itself. So keep them around your home just so you can say them a lot more often and out loud, and you can start to manifest all those great scriptures and affirmations. And my last tip, y'all, this is coming to an end, but this, I believe, is one of the most crucial, and that is hanging with positive people. And I just can't stress this enough, because I really feel a lot of times, including myself, you know, once upon a time, I feel like so many people settle or feel obligated to keep toxic people in their lives, or to surround themselves with negative people. Maybe because it's your cousin or your best friend or your daddy, you know. We feel so inclined to just put up with the madness because we love them or we care about them. But guys, negative is negative, toxic is toxic. And if you find yourself around somebody who just sucks all the energy out of you, or make you feel uneasy or on edge all the time, or just uncomfortable to be around, then that's the person, those are the people you need to cut off, like, now. like now, yesterday, now. And you can do it politely, you know, politely distance yourself, but because ultimately we are who we hang around with. We are who we surround ourselves with. So make sure we're finding and keeping those wonderful, positive people who want to push you to your full potential, or just a good person overall, right? Because you know, if a person has a good heart, you know, hopefully we all know somebody who just exudes love and just, you know, is just so awesome to be around, so positive, so, you know, helpful. And yeah, those are the people we want to love. Those are the people we want to invite and attract back into our lives and surround ourselves with. So that's all I have for this video, guys. Hopefully these habits were kind of inspiring. These are practices and habits that I try to do on a daily basis. I try to keep in mind often, and I really try to utilize and put in the work, okay? Because our peace, our mind, you know, our being, our aura is so important to God, and it needs to be even more important to us. And we have to learn how to protect ourselves. We have to learn to stop settling and just dealing with the nonsense, because we don't have to, okay? So hopefully this definitely inspired wellness, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.